One way to think about it is through basic math. If you just look at the numbers, if you were able to improve by 1% each day for an entire year, and those gains compound, you would end up 37 times better at the end of the year. Conversely, if you were to get 1% worse each day, you would whittle yourself down to almost zero. What's interesting is that everyone wants a transformation, right? Everybody desires radical improvement or rapid success, but we often fail to realize that small habits and little choices are already transforming us every day. For the rest of this talk, there are 4 stages of habit formation that I'm going to walk you through. These stages are noticing, wanting, doing, and liking. Noticing, wanting, doing, and liking. One of my favorite things about the noticing stage is a strategy called implementation intentions. Many people think they lack motivation, but what they really lack is clarity. They believe they need more motivation or willpower to execute a habit. They think, if I just felt like writing or if I just felt like meditating or working out, then I would do it. In reality, they don't have a plan for it. They wake up each day wondering, will I feel motivated to write today? Or will I feel motivated to work out today? Instead, you can take the decision making out of it by explicitly stating when, where, and how you want to implement the habit. It sounds easy to say, let's just start a plan, write down exactly what you should do, and then maybe you'll follow through on it. But of course, we all know challenges arise, and it's not quite that easy. Here's a little strategy I like to use to make sure you can come up with a better plan of action. And it's called a failure pre-mortem. Here's how it works. Think about the habit, project, or goal you want to work on. Now, fast forward 6 months and imagine that you failed. Then tell the story of why you failed. What happened? What challenges did you encounter? What took you off course? Once you've laid everything out on the table, you can start making better choices about how to develop your plan. You can create if-then plans. For example, not only do I want to exercise for 20 minutes on Monday at 5 p.m., but also, if I don't exercise because I need to take my kid to practice, then on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., I'll make sure to go. You'll have ways to adjust for these challenges. When it comes to habits, if you want to practice guitar more often, put it in the middle of your living room so you see it frequently. If you want to read more, make your bed in the morning. Then place the book you want to read on top of the pillow. When you return at night, you'll see it, pick it up, read a few pages, and go to sleep. Many of our desires are simply shaped by our environment. The moral of the story is that I've never seen someone consistently stick to positive habits in a negative environment. Maybe you can overpower it once or twice. Maybe you can muster the willpower to do the right thing on one day, but if you're constantly fighting against those forces, it's going to be very hard to follow through. Stage 3, doing. The important insight here, especially for habits, is that in the beginning, the most important thing is just to show up and put in your reps. Make sure you hone the skill. You can start to think of it like this: any outcome you wish to achieve is just a point along the spectrum of repetitions. The more reps you put in, the more likely you are to achieve that goal. What I like to say is that you should optimize for the starting line, not the finish line. Often when we think about habits, goals, routines, or achievements, it's all about the milestone. We think about how much weight we want to lose, how much money we want to earn, how many subscribers we want to have. It's all focused on the finish line. But instead, if you can optimize for the starting line and make it as easy as possible to get started and put in your reps, often the outcomes will follow naturally. Stage 4, liking. The only reason we repeat behaviors is that we enjoy them, we like the reward. If we don't enjoy the experience along the way, we're unlikely to stick with it. That means you need to figure out ways to bring a reward into the present moment, because good habits often have a problem. The immediate consequence is a cost, but the reward is usually delayed. So you need to find a way to bring the reward into the present moment to stick to a good habit. Seth Godin, who will also be speaking here, has a nice quote about this: the best way to change long-term behavior is through short-term feedback. One way to think about this is that long-term behaviors like writing for years or going to the gym often have delayed rewards, so you need a way to enjoy the process in the moment. Here's what I think you should do. Get a wall calendar where you can see every day of the year. Any day that you complete your task, like writing jokes for 15 minutes, just put an X on that day. You might have a few false starts, but eventually you'll get a chain going. Once you have 4, 5, or more days in a row, your only goal becomes not to break the chain. It doesn't matter how good or bad the jokes are, or whether they make it into your material, just don't break the chain. What's interesting is that by measuring your progress, you get an immediate reward. The long-term reward, like having a great stand-up routine 40 days or weeks from now, is delayed. But by crossing off each day on your calendar, you give yourself an immediate sense of achievement. We often fear that to achieve something new or become someone new, we have to abandon everything we are, but that's not how it works. Change happens plank by plank, board by board, habit by habit. Gradually, you can become someone new. With consistency and repetition, you can not only change your results, but also your identity. The more evidence we have for a belief, the more likely we are to believe it. If you go to church every Sunday for 20 years, you believe you are religious. If you study Spanish every Thursday night for 20 minutes, you believe you are studious. The actions you take provide evidence for who you are. It's not that habits matter more on an individual basis. Each moment in life matters, but over time, the things you do once or twice fade away, and the things you do consistently day after day, week after week, accumulate and shape your beliefs about yourself. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. If you want to become someone new, take new actions and accumulate evidence for that identity. The more votes you cast, the more likely you are to win the election. You don't need to be unanimous or perfect all the time, but you do need a body of work. True change isn't just about behavior change, results change, or process change, it's about identity change. The goal isn't just to read a book, it's to become a reader. The goal isn't just to write a book or article, it's to become a writer. The goal isn't just to run a marathon, it's to become a runner. It's about becoming a type of person and developing an identity. The way to become something is through doing something. Every time you sit down to write, you're being a writer. Every time you play a sport, you're being an athlete. Every time you practice painting or music, you're being an artist. Habits are not only the method through which we achieve external measures of success, like losing weight, earning more money, or reducing stress, they are also the path through which we achieve internal change and become someone new. They are the path through which we forge the identity that forms our deepest beliefs about ourselves. So, if you can change your habits, you can change your life. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe our channel.